We've had a busy couple of weeks. Jim has been working on the level blockouts, layering in some more detail. The promenade area now has a lot more detail and is looking like a proper little seaside destination. The buildings aren't furnished or anything. We don't plan to do that until later in the process. He's also been building out the marina area. We have plans for some fun quests out at sea, so Bryce will need a vessel. One thing that has been causing pain and soaking up, frankly, ridiculous amount of time relates to global illumination. Again, Adaptive Probe Volumes predates Unity 6 by a good 2 years and was supposed to be mature and stable for Unity 6's release. Supposed to be. But after spinning around in circles for days on end trying to figure out what our lighting configuration problems were, we came to learn that Unity has quietly acknowledged that APV has been broken for a few versions now. Part of what takes us so long to arrive at the realization that it's not our fault is that the speed of iteration is extremely slow. Every time we make a change, we need to bake a compute-expensive render. If the result is broken, it just becomes a big waste of time. Another huge time sink has been working with our water rendering asset, Crest Water. Ideally, we need to produce a video entirely on that subject, but briefly, we adopted the new Crest version 5 with the Shallow Waters plugin. It promised to be really clever, a fluid simulation system to produce natural-looking rivers that conform to complicated geometry. Prior to something like this, we'd have to manually lay out splines to emulate the river. With this system, the promise was that we could define a simulation area and the asset would generate the river automatically. That was the promise, but without wanting to be mean, the reality was that the Shallow Waters extension was a bit of a buggy mess. We could have left a negative review. We could have applied for a refund and moved on. However, we felt it was something worth persevering with. So Jim has been working closely with the asset authors, spending a huge amount of time learning the asset inside and out and identifying problems by producing dozens of bug report videos. To start with, it took a while for the authors to accept that it wasn't a user problem. I get it. It's common for asset authors to be plagued by customers not reading the docs or not having configured the system properly. But eventually, the authors started to realize that there were really some deep-rooted problems, and with an improved collaborative relationship, bit by bit, the asset has been fixed and improved and now finally seems to be in a good state. I, on the other hand, have been implementing a lot of different gameplay systems. In January, I made the decision to remove GOAP, Goal-Oriented Action Planning, and implement HTN, Hierarchical Task Networks, for our NPC AI systems. GOAP was something we thought we needed back in our early prototyping phase that started in 2023. I spent most of last year trying to make GOAP work for the game we actually started to make. GOAP is great for simulation games and for games where you want enemies to make logical decisions. However, we are making a first-person stealth game. I wanted the NPCs to behave more like the ones in the Hitman games, but I didn't want the limitations that come with behavior trees. The move to HTN has been a great decision. I am planning to produce a deep dive video for you that just focuses on the decisions behind our AI systems and goes into greater detail on the pros and cons of the different approaches. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like. Since switching to HTN, I have been able to integrate dialogue into the NPC behaviors. Before I had to pause the AI system. I have also been able to achieve better stealth mechanics. NPCs will either confront or flee from the player. They will search for them, and a player can now hide in long grass and from inside, under, and behind furniture. I've also implemented some NPC model managing code, so an NPC can change outfit for a particular activity, such as jogging. The other thing I've been working on is the Steam page and the game website, which leads me to the game name reveal. I'm very proud to announce that our game will be called The Third Tourist. Head on over to Steam and wishlist it right now. I'll wait.
Yes, that button right there. Press it.
We have so much planned for the game. If you want to help us today to make it even better, please consider supporting us on Patreon. But really, just wishlisting will still really help, and that costs you nothing. In personal news, we have been enjoying a bit of sunshine in the UK. It's been a very gloomy start to the year, and it's incredibly welcome to feel like we're emerging out of winter. And of course, we have been having lots of fun with the new puppy Summer. That's it for now. I've also shared some early walkabout videos of the promenade, so be sure to check those out. Thanks for watching. Bye!